This is Storm Warden here with you today, giving you another update on the severe weather threat that will take place in the north central part of the country today, in western parts of Wisconsin, south central Minnesota, and eastern to southeastern parts of South Dakota, and a small slither of North Dakota and Nebraska. So, um, please subscribe if you like. If you've been liking my weather content, I am a student inspiring to be a meteorologist. I want to transfer to North Carolina State where I want to pursue my bachelor's in meteorology. And so I'm trying to get my name out there and grow all my platforms. So if you like my content, please subscribe. And here we go. We're going to start off by showing you the SBC Day 1 categorical outlook. And we currently have an enhanced risk over South Dakota, small slither of Nebraska, and south central Minnesota, to parts of central Minnesota, and western Wisconsin. As you're gonna have a nice cluster to bowing out line of thunderstorms that will move through these areas with significant wind damage and a large hail threat, along with a small isolated tornado threat as well. So I'll show you that here. We have a Day 1 tornado outlook, and we have a 5% risk over South Dakota and western Minnesota. Anywhere in this area, anywhere in the green areas, well, you could have a isolated tornado today, so you want to watch out for that. Our hail threat is quite significant. You have a 30% hatch risk of significant hail today, so you want to watch out for that as well. Especially any of those supercells that get going in the beginning stages of the severe weather threat. And I'll get all into that as we break down the models this morning. We also have a significant 30% hatch wind risk today, which will also be something to look out for as well. So let's break down these models. So let's give you the overview of what we're dealing with today. So, I like to start off with my dew points, just to show you where I think the highest threat of severe weather will take place today. So we're going to run through this. So as we go through our day today, watch that moisture return. Watch those in that area of 70s dew points, especially in Minnesota. That's where you're going to have the strongest heating today, and that's where storms will be strongest. I think, and I'm going to let you know today, I think the strongest thunderstorms today are going to be right along that South Dakota, right towards that western Minnesota area today. So if I had to draw a localized area of higher potential today, it will probably be somewhere up in here, with even an enhanced tornado threat as well, as you get those former supercells to start forming, and that will quickly grow upscale to a linear bag, which will become a significant damaging wind event today. So that will be something to watch out for. Now let's get back into this. So we're going to keep going in our loop. Watch those dew points. That wherever you see those 70 dew points, higher moisture return, that's where you're going to have the most significant severe weather threat. So let's go ahead. Let's break down reflectivity for today. So we're going to drop down over here, and I'm going to give you the overview of the surface-based instability. So this is one of the ingredients today that's really feeling this big storm threat today. So as you go through time, look at this area of a really intense instability today. Right in this area right here, the basic area I circled earlier. This area right in here, that's really significant instability, which will help that damaging wind threat. But not only that, but it's also going to help that significant hail threat today with a 30% hatch. So you could see some very large hail today, maybe even gorilla size, which is very significant. So you want to be weather aware in those areas today. Watch out for your cars as well. So that's quite significant instability. But now let's get into what you guys probably want to see, which is reflectivity. What does this look like on radar? Well, we're starting out right now, 13Z. Again, it's a little bit later now that I'm making this video, but as we go through time, notice that as these storms encounter that significant area of instability right over here in Minnesota and right along that border of South Dakota, any of these cells have potential to produce a very significant hail, especially in these supercells. Supercells are those cells that are individual and they're by themselves out here with nothing to get in the way of them. However, these will grow upscale fairly quickly. So, but initially, as you have a initial bag of supercells, you're gonna want to watch out for the hail threat today. But notice these grow upscale very very quickly. So the hail threat is going to be quite significant before it becomes a significant wind bag as all these storms combine together to make a significant wind damage threat. And then you have another line along our shortwave that comes in that brings in another significant severe threat in the South Dakota late tonight. And then that will all move into the Wisconsin area in the wee hours, in the wee morning hours of Tuesday. So this severe threat will last through this afternoon, through early parts of tomorrow morning. So I want to show you our significant tornado parameter. What does that look like for today? Well, I don't think it'll be that significant, and as you see on here, it isn't that significant. Closer to our short wave or closer to our low, you may have an enhanced tornado threat as you have more of a lower level jet back southeasterly winds. So you may have more of a tornado threat closer to the shortwave low itself. But any of those initial supercells that I was just showing you at the HRRR could produce an isolated tornado today. Again, the biggest threats today will be the significant wind and a significant hail. And I think the hail threat today is going to be very, very significant. Now, let's look at another model. Here we go with the NAM. So this is fresh. This is just coming out. The full run's not even done yet. So here we go with the NAM model. So again, you know I like to start with my dew points. And here we are with widespread 70s dew points. You even have a couple 80s dew points over there in southern Minnesota. This will all give way to significant heating today, allowing for some significant instability. Let's drop down. Let's take you to our surface-based instability forecast off the NAM 3KM model. And yeah, this is some significant instability showing up on the NAM. I mean, that's very, very significant. And most models seem to be honing in on this area of Minnesota, parts of that South Dakota border being the most significant area for severe weather today. So in that area today, I would not be surprised to get some really big reports of some significant hail today. So you want to be careful if you live in any of these areas of southern Minnesota. So let's drop down and let's look at our reflectivity. What does that look like on radar? What does all this mean? Well, so currently we're going to have that showers and a few storms out there right now, which again is a little bit later now that I'm making this video. But notice we go into afternoon hours, you have a significant wind bag. I mean, this is going to be a significant wind bag. Plenty of instability ahead of this line. Even though the NAM doesn't really show any development beforehand, I honestly think that you're going to see development like these right here, these supercells. You probably see a lot more development as well. And any of these cells could, number one, have a tornado threat, but two, the significant hail threat is going to top this. Like, the significant hail threat is going to be very, very big today, I'm telling you. And as these storms combine, you are going to have a significant wind bag today across South Dakota, Minnesota, and even going into Wisconsin. You know, we're getting towards Tuesday morning, and we have a significant wind bag headed your way. So you want to be alert in Wisconsin as well. And you also have the enhanced risks in Wisconsin, so you're going to want to watch out for a significant wind bag over here in Wisconsin as well. I don't want to leave you guys out of it. You guys looking at a significant severe weather threat as well. I want to show you this significant tornado parameter off the NAM, and the NAM shows a threat of tornadoes, particularly right around that 20Z to 22Z time frame. Now it shows an enhanced heightened risk of tornadoes right around this time period, but this is more along that surface low in that short wave. by this point, most storms probably moving eastward, but this will be along that Bowen line. So I'm telling you, if we can, let me take it back to reflectivity because I want to show you something. So if we can get a bowed out line, kind of like this, it's right along that line where you can get some isolated spin ups right along that line that could cause a few tornadoes this evening and late tonight. So you'll want to watch out in those areas tonight. So I want to show you one more model before I give you my overall thoughts. And here's the HRV3, and I'm just going to show you the reflectivity with this model, just to give you a whole nother idea of what we're dealing with today. And again, the FV3, initially it shows a supercell forming, which then becomes a huge cluster to a linear bag of storms with very strong wind gusts moving towards Wisconsin. So we're looking at a pretty significant threat of severe weather today, with probably multiple destructive severe warning tags today, with large hail threats and damaging wind being the biggest threats today. So again, I want to take you back to the SPC outlook. There's a 30% hatched wind bag today. I would not be surprised if we get an upgrade a little bit later with a 45% wind bag somewhere in Minnesota, as it seems like models are honing in on that area and right along that South Dakota border to be in the most heightened threat of severe weather today. So that'll be something to watch out for. Our hail threat is very significant. I'm telling you, especially those initial supercells that form in South Dakota, especially eastern South Dakota, right along that border, that push into western Minnesota. That's where you're going to have the most significant hail risk today. But you also have a hail risk going into Wisconsin as well. So you want to watch out in those areas. You need to have that 30% starting to sneak into the very far fringes of western Wisconsin. So don't let your guard down in those areas. You could definitely see some large hail. And that tornado threat, again, 5% risk. You want to watch out, especially as you get those initial supercells, and especially if you can get a bowing out segment or bowing out structure within that line, you may get some isolated tornadoes that form. And these will also be fast moving, so you want to watch out that. So you won't have much time to just prepare. So make sure you're staying weather aware. You're have your radar, and you're just keeping an eye to the sky today. So before I leave you here, I want to show you the surface analysis. And you have a pretty thick area of cloud cover right now over western South Dakota, with some showers, some thunderstorms out there this morning. Looking at surface analysis, but all this will give away to some strong heating later on this afternoon, especially over Minnesota and that right on that border of South Dakota. And this is it is in this area right here where you're already seeing breaks in the clouds, where I think you're going to have a heightened risk of severe weather today, with very, very large hail in this area from significant instability, stronger winds at 500 millibar heights, which is basically just strong upper level winds, which will give away to a very significant threat of severe weather. So stay weather aware. Again, I'll keep you updated. If we do get an upgrade, I will post it to the community notes. I want to keep you guys updated. So if you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll be making daily content and keep you guys updated on any big weather events. So Storm Warden is out.